Hi, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic back with you again. Today is sort of a video about what I have in store to hopefully make videos of, as far as the equipment that I have, the vehicles that I have that need repair, and what repair is needed. I'm doing this to post. It should be relatively short, but I'm doing this to post so that I also will have a video log of what I need to do. Rather than jotting down notes, hey, I'll do it on here. I'll go back to YouTube. I can look and say, oh yeah, I still have that to do. And believe me, I got plenty to do. What I'll do is I'll walk around. I like to try and keep the camera as steady as possible, but I'll walk around and just sort of talk about the vehicles and the equipment that I have and what I want to do, and just sort of point it out. And remember, folks, these projects that I want to do are all on my own vehicles. I've bought numerous pieces of, dare I say, junk. Vehicles and equipment that need repair. Most of my equipment is junk. That's why I get the experience, because I get to work on it. I'm not going to give it to somebody else, so I try my best first. I'm not saying that I don't ever give any work to anybody else, because sometimes it is beyond my realm of knowledge, but what I do try to do is learn from what they do, so next time I know. But okay, we're going to go, and I'm just going to point out some of the jobs I have to do, some of the things I want to do to these vehicles, and then I will post this. Like I said, I don't like doing a shaky video. I'll try to do it the best that I can. Along the way, I may give a little information about myself or why I have some of the stuff that I do have. Okay, let's get started. Okay, just because I'm in my garage and it's actually the closest, this is my 2002 Chevy Duramax diesel. There's about 73,000 miles on it, but everything is rusted out. Pennsylvania winters are just awful on vehicles. So one of the things I have to do without actually crawling underneath it is there is actually a fuel cooler under there and has lines running up to the engine. Well, they're rotted out. I did a interim fix for it, but what I've done is I have actually ordered all the fuel lines to put on it at some point, which I would actually like to make a video of. Let me see here if I can. Alright, sorry about that. Here's the box full of goodies that I eventually have to put on it. So that's one job I have to do. Another job on it is when I took it to, I just recently took it and pulled my trailer with it up to New York State to actually deliver something and bring another piece of another vehicle back here to my place. I noticed that it's losing rear end fluid. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm figuring it's actually the seal on the yoke that goes into your rear end. I'm not 100% sure. That's usually the place it is. Could be a blocked vent making it blow out. But it was slobbering all over the place, so it's definitely something I got to fix on the rear of this. So that's something else that I'll take apart and do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my coffee first. And then I'm going to go down through what it's almost like my junkyard row here of what I have and what I have to do. And like I said, I'll explain a little bit. I don't know if people have interest or not of what I have, why I have, and this and that. This is my New Holland skid steer. Basically the problem with this is, and if you watched my earlier video, the right wheel hops on it. I tried to do some work to it, and it continues to do the same thing. There's some other fixes that I want to do to try and get the problem resolved. We'll do that. The other thing is, with this, I had actually worked on the engine. I thought I had a problem. It's a diesel engine. It had a gas in it originally, but it's a diesel engine that someone put in it. Of course, I bought it secondhand. You know, you can see it does the job for pushing horse shit and stuff like that. I mean, that's basically what I got it for, and other small stuff at another property that I own. but the diesel engine wasn't running properly, and I had to put an electric fuel pump on that, and it now has the electric fuel pump, and it had some other problems, but now I got the engine running what I figure is relatively well. So of course something else has to give me problems, but you know, such is the story with the equipment I have. Next off, this is another 2002 Chevy. This is the one that my girlfriend runs. This one needs it's runnable, it runs, but it actually needs ball joints. It has numerous engine codes, random misfire. I haven't had much time to spend on it to look at it, but maybe the spider injectors on this thing, I'm not sure. You know, time will tell. I'm not even sure the fuel injection system that's on this, but it'll all, you know, we'll find out, and we'll try to diagnose it. I got the OBD2 scanner, one of the all-tells. I'm not the best with it yet, but you know, I'll bring you along, and you know, we can sort of learn together. This is my 87 Chevy pickup truck. I bought this baby brand new back in 87, sold it once. The guy was going to scrap it. It has a good running 350 engine in it. The four-wheel drive works really well. The frame was rotted out, could no longer inspect it. I wouldn't let him junk it, bought it back off of him for junk price. Since then I've replaced most of the brake lines, which I have one to do yet. It still starts up, it runs. I don't know if I'm going to fix the frame damage. This is just one of those ongoing projects that I'll probably be dead before I ever finish or even get it semi-finished. But, you know, somebody else can drag it to the junkyard when I'm gone, because I won't know the difference. So, you know, this has all that. Stuff's rotted out on it. Like I say, this here, as I go and find stuff, it's just something that I will try to post what I do and what I work on. So next, and if anyone has watched any of my videos, next, this is my 1993 Saturn SC2. Once again, this is something that I sold numerous times. If you watched my other video, that was when I was first starting out doing videos, and they weren't, I agree, they weren't the best. I left them up just to show myself and show people how I hope I progress with doing these videos. But when I got this, I put all new brakes, calipers, rotors, everything, because the brakes were shot. And speaking of that, I've bled the brakes out. It appears I have no leaks. The lines are rusted, but I have no brake line leaks. None of the new calipers appear to be leaking. I've bled it numerous times. I'm still having a problem with the brake pedal basically going down to the floor. It seems like it's the back brakes. So for approximately $45 from AutoZone, even though I'm not 100% sure that it's the problem, I got a master cylinder to put on it. So I am definitely going to record that. At some point, I'm going to record doing the master cylinder in it and putting that in it to see if that helps. As I said, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sort of at a loss. The ABS system seems to work. It clicks in. And like I said, I don't see any visible leaks, so we're going to give that a shot. And me, a lot of times, I know, you know, I guess I'm a 98%er. Sometimes I will rip and replace if I really don't have an idea, especially when it's $45. I know $45 is a lot of money to some people. You know, it is to me too, not to mean that, but for $45 to see if it fixes it, and I can do the labor myself, it'd be a cheap fix. And to me, the way I look at it, that's $45 spent to take something out of the equation as the problem. You know, and then you're getting pretty limited to what the problem can be. So that's definitely one of the things I have to do on this. Other than that, you know, this is, the interior's falling apart, but other than that, you know, it's a pretty solid car overall. So next, here is the latest piece that I drug home. This is I want to say a 98 Geo Tracker. I bought this. The four-wheel drive works, four-door. It needs the things that I know that it needs. It runs good. It goes down the road good. It runs pretty good. It definitely needs body work, which I don't do. I probably have a friend do that. I hate body work. Don't even want to get involved with it. But one of the things it needs is, this is another one that Pennsylvania weather has been so nice to. The brake lines are rotted out. I'll be doing brake lines on it. You know, I'm going to show how to flare, bend. I know Eric O from South Main Auto has done a video on that. He pretty much does it the same way as me, but while I'm in here doing it, I will probably do a video on it also, just to show you my style. From setting, this is sat over a year. It got moved. The guy moved it, started it up, and moved it to mow grass, and that was it. That's why he figured he'd get rid of it. The other thing it needs, he says, the exhaust just from setting has rotted out. I'm gonna have to look at that. I haven't had it up on the lift. I just took it for a ride. It ran good. It's more of a project than anything. Worst case scenario with this vehicle, you know, because the four-wheel drive works really well, is I will take it and fix it up, the brakes up, and worst case scenario, if I don't get it on the road and get the body work done, it'll go out to my farm, and I will sort of use it as a vehicle to haul stuff, because I figured, why pay $8,000 to $10,000 for a side-by-side Kubota or whatever make you may have when I bought this much cheaper, and it'll do the same and probably more than that. So that's some of my the things that I'm going to work on. One of my other projects right now, I'm having a problem with. I also have a 530C case backhoe, and I am having a problem with the case backhoe with the with it starting. I think it's overheating. I put a new water pump on it. I don't know if there's head problems with it. I really don't know a lot about, I'll be honest, I really don't know a lot about diesels, but I'm going to try and figure out if maybe a starter would help, or if it is actually overheating, and I'll show you some of the stuff I'm going to do. And once again, please remember, you know, I'm not an expert at this. I work as a mechanic on, you know, mainly the vehicles. When it comes to the diesels and stuff, it's just what I've learned, or, you know, from online or from people I know. So it all may be, you know, it's hard to say how we're going to make out with that. There's another vehicle that's not here. It's a 2001 Buick Century, which is also my girlfriend's. Yeah, I know, we have way too many vehicles, believe me. But that vehicle, I actually did the intake gaskets on a while ago, probably about a year ago, because it was leaking antifreeze out of one of them. So I did do that. That vehicle also has a plethora of codes on it. So I'm going to take a look at those codes, hopefully down the road. But as you can see, you know, I work a full-time job, and I just have so much stuff to work on. And one of the problems is, when I go to use it, usually I have to work on it. Don't always have the camera. Would maybe like to show it, but I just can't, because it's just not feasible. So that be as it may. But the 2001 Buick is another one that maybe somewhere down the road we'll do a video, because it does have problems, and find 230,000 miles on it. So probably along the way there'll be some other issues. I hope not, because it's only more crap I got to work on. But you know how that goes. So anyhow, we're hoping, we'll hope that there's no more problems, but we can actually delve into some of the problems it has. Okay, so that's a sort of a down and dirty rundown of what I want to do and on what vehicles. There's probably stuff that I forgot to mention. I have other pieces of equipment too. I have a Kubota BX24 tractor that, you know, I do some maintenance on too. It has the mower and it has the backhoe and stuff, and you know, even the fluid changes and stuff on that. If I do those, I'll certainly bring you along. But in some of the vehicles, especially the Geo Tracker, because it's an unknown, once I put it up on the rack, who knows. The previous guy who had it was a mechanic, a good mechanic, and he told me he just put a timing belt and stuff on it, so I'm thinking the engine's going to be pretty good. That's another reason I glommed onto that thing, because it seemed like a pretty good price for what it was. So I just wanted to make this video, give a rundown, and since the video is done, hey, it's Mike, the Disgruntled Mechanic, saying if you can get somebody else to do it, hey, you're probably better off. See you in the next video when I start actually turning some wrenches on stuff.